How's it going, my friends? Well, I just stopped to make a video and I was trying to figure out if this was the right spot to do it. I'll show you where I'm at. There's a mixed batch in here. There's a lot of cedar and fir trees. It's just gorgeous. This place is beautiful. I was just sitting down to do the video and I looked over and I noticed a piece of garbage, and I'm up in the middle of nowhere. But then I looked over and I saw some of these. Ghost plant. And over here there's a whole bundle of them too. I just noticed when I said that. I guess it has to do with paying attention, doesn't it? So let's see if I can get this thing to sit up here, sit upright. Oh, a little bit more back. There we go. How's everybody doing today? Carpo at you from the middle of the woods. Whew. See if I can sit here for a minute in silence. Boy, that would be pretty boring for you, wouldn't it? So we came out camping, and there's a creek down there, and I decided to cross the creek and do some cross-country bushwhacking up to the hillside, which I'm on now. And I could see the hillside continues on up for quite some time. And of course, once you get away from the underbrush and the creek, you're usually good to go. But I can barely hear the creek, and I can I can slightly hear my kids down there going, screaming and raging with mom, partying out, making a nuisance of themselves as kids do. But that's what we parents love. And I came up here to this part of the woods because on the other side of the street, it's nice, but there are several roads over there, and then it goes on into, it's all woods, but let's just say it's more populated than going this direction, which is directly towards Mount Adams. There's really no more roads this direction, so I could very well be in, I was down by the creek on this side. It's like an area where the creek floods only in the winter, and I saw some fresh tracks, and I looked closer and they were definitely cat tracks. I've got cats, and they were significantly deep into the mud. I could tell they weren't dog. They were far too big to be, coyote or wolf. So we're definitely in cat territory. But the funny thing is that it was obviously a youth that I saw the tracks from, and those are pretty fresh tracks. So somewhere around here there's a mother cougar and her cub, and it doesn't really give me any fright whatsoever. It's like I don't know. I feel like humanity is detached so much from nature that we're actually afraid of things that aren't to be feared. Things like bears, wolves, cats. You think that they want to come harass us? Of course not. Some people even worry about aliens and Sasquatch and various other things that, are even less likely for me to be afraid of. But being in the woods, I can see how that can be a fearful thing for some people who aren't prepared to deal with that being with yourself. Nature inspires. And we live in a day and age where it's easy to get detached from nature, to separate yourself from the natural order of things, I guess. When I was sitting there in my chair at the campsite, I even had music going, and I was just sitting there thinking. But just looking around at the nature around me inspired me to think about what I really wanted. And I started thinking about my old band, Time to Spare, which I played with my brother Nick and our friend Sam. Sam had to move to California, and Nick moved up to Hood River, but that's not very far from here. And I really loved the music that we played, but it's like all good things must come to an end, right? And I figure that's just what it is, I can't change that. But hopefully one day he comes back around. I guess what I'm saying is, by sitting and thinking for 5 minutes about the music we used to play, and then I took a walk through the woods, and as I was coming back I heard the bass line from the music, and it was my bass line from, because I was in the band. And I started remembering coming up with that stuff. I thought, I spent a lot of time practicing and thinking up these bass lines for this music. And at the time, it didn't seem like very much work. But looking back, I'm glad I did it. It just helped me to understand myself better and the world around me. But through music, because music is such an awesome thing. I just love it. So now that I'm finished here, I guess I'm going to continue on my way. Maybe I'll just take the camera with me here and see where we end up. Maybe then if I get mauled by a cougar, it'll be on video, at least somebody can gain some entertainment out of it. Be like, haha, he was just talking shit about not being scared of cougars, and now look at him. I'd like to say that this area is all natural, but I can tell by the age of the trees that it was once mined, or once forested. Ooh, look at those. I don't even want to tear them out because I don't want to damage the environment around it and the root system. But here we go. These are the ghost flower or Indian pipe. The flowers that are pollinated by bees that don't use sunlight or produce chlorophyll. It's pretty interesting. It's cool that I'd find them up here actually, because I only have 2 places that I know where to find them, and I should probably mark this on my GPS that's in my pocket, but since I'm making a video, I'll just do it later. I'll remember this spot, right? Yeah, that's what we always say. That's what I always say. I always say I'm going to remember a place, and then I'm like, where was it? Camping and otherwise. Well, I guess I'm going to put the camera away and continue to hike up this hill. And 7:19, hey, what can I say?